So I'm going to give you two things in this class to disempower any limiting views that you're holding in those top 7. So the first one is you can consciously shift your view from the limiting one to a positive one and then choose actions off that positive view. So I always tell the story. I was doing a negotiation with some facilities personnel. They were trying to get this huge change initiative through, and the operator told me, you know what, my boss is a complete idiot. There is not one intelligent thing the man says. I can't even stand to be around him. I get him out of my office as fast as possible. And I said, so your view basically is your boss is an idiot. And he goes, in spades. And so I just said, look, shift. I'm going to give you a thing called shifting your view. I said, just for 1 week, I want you to take on the view that your boss has something important to tell you and you need to listen to everything he says. And I said, I'm only asking for 7 days. I was going to see him in a class 7 days later. And I said, just report back to me day 7 when I see you in class again, how that worked for you. And he came back to class that day. And so, of course, first thing I did was have him stand up and share at the class. And I said, so how did it go? And he looked at me and, sometimes my facilities operators have colorful language. So there was a few expletives that came out first. And he goes, I had the best week ever with my boss. And he did have stuff to tell me, and I heard it. And we had a huge breakthrough, and I'm already feeling better. So that's number 1. Number 2 is what I talked about earlier, the power of commitment. Your second option to shift a limiting view is to write a commitment that you'll stick to no matter how you feel or what the view tells you. So I had someone who kept quitting on their idea. Like they would start the idea and they were just like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. And I said, what if you just make a commitment that for the rest of your life, you're going to make action on this idea, whether it fails or not? And they looked and they're like, I can do that? And I said, yeah, it's just a commitment. It just means if it fails, you keep going. And you say, no matter how I feel about it, I still take action. I still move it forward. So you can literally do that. It's like what I did with my son. I was like, I didn't know how I was going to run faster than my son at 140 pounds. I was pushing 300 pounds total with all this weird stuff. But I kept the commitment. And what it meant was for the next 5 years, I made huge changes in my life to support hitting that I could run faster than my son. And I will tell you, I did have success. I could run faster with my son. Can't anymore. He's 12. He can totally smoke me. But in the critical years, I could run faster than that boy.